You've jumped in the ring yourself, of course, and only had a handful of pay-per-view matches, but they're all incredibly memorable. Jumping off the Titantron against Steve Blackman at SummerSlam 2000, elbow drop on the Big Show, Backlash 2001, going through the glass, King of the Ring 2001 with Kurt Angle, which is on the Don't Try This at Home video. 2 questions.
And you should not try that at home.
Absolutely
ever.
not.
None of those things.
2 questions. 1, are you nuts? And 2, what drove you to do those spots?
I don't know if I'm not nuts to me. When I was a kid, I used to. My grandma lived in North Carolina, and ever since I could climb a tree, I would climb up those huge Carolina pines, and I would jump from one to another. So that's really kind of where my daredevil aspects started. You know, skateboard, motocross. I mean, anything dangerous I did. I love to do that. So that's just how I'm wired. It's just how I'm built. So I don't think I'm crazy. There's a huge risk to it, especially when you're that high. Anytime you get above 20 feet, when I dropped the elbow on Big Show at 50 feet, you really have to know what you're doing, because you can very easily over-rotate and break your neck and you're dead. And that's a reality that is. That's why you leave it up to pros and stuntmen and things like that, or myself, etc.
What do the guys backstage think about those bumps you took?
They think I'm nuts.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Will we see you back in the ring again sometime?
You never know. I mean, if the storyline really calls for it, I love to be out there. Again, I love to perform. I can't answer that. You know, I'm not too old to do it yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not too old.
How did the Shane Shuffle originate?
I just started, I don't know, it just happened one day. I was excited and I just started doing it. And I used to, I always have been a huge fan of Muhammad Ali. So I kind of took it from him. And then in our business, the Rockstat, Rocky Johnson, used to do a form of that, Rocky Shuffle. So I kind of took a hybrid of that and turned it into my own. Just did it one day, just felt good and just kept it going. You know, it was exciting to do.
If you take us back to the last WCW Monday Night Show, WWE had just purchased the company of Time Warner. And here you were, the new boss's son, coming into that last broadcast. How were you received, and what are your memories of that night?
Totally shocked the audience, because we didn't let anybody know I was there. Totally shocked all the actual WCW talent there as well. When I showed up that day for a meeting earlier, they were just blown away that, you know, that WWE had purchased WCW. And so that was a very interesting backstage moment. But when I went out there in public, it was really cool. And the fact that, you know, I mean, it's never been done historically. It was an enormous event to be. I was heading into WrestleMania, and looking at that, you had the TNT cable network, Time Warner, who had been our rivals for so many years, coupled with USA at that time. And so my dad's on one show, I'm on another, and not just the difference. He's on one network and we're on the competing network. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It's never been done in the history, I don't think, of cable television or anything, period. So it was awesome.
The WCW purchase led on shortly after to the roster split. Is the roster split going to be going on forever and ever, or is it going to be, do you think there'll be a merged brand again? Or
potentially. You know, the idea was, which has worked, even though from a fan standpoint, you always want to see your stars, of course, in one nice little package. But there's so many emerging stars that we had to give a forum to get out there and do stuff. You know, if you go back in the day, there's only a couple slots, you know, on Raw or SmackDown for that matter. And if you have the same guys competing for that, then they're only your top 5 or top 10. Whereas with the roster split, hopefully now you can have 20. Which then we can do more touring and things like that. You know, coming here to New Zealand will be SmackDown. You know, first time actually we've ever, as a company, been here to New Zealand, but that wouldn't be possible if there was just one roster all the time. You know, you have to be able to split it up and do that. So it's just really trying to share more with everybody else.
Does it still blow you away when you come to a far-off land like New Zealand and realise the global reach of the company your father built up?
Oh yeah, and that's what we continue to do. We continue to build the whole thing. my dad took it from his dad took it from his father, and so my sister and I continue in that tradition. And it's just, that gets back to what we were talking about earlier with the passion. If you don't have the passion for it, you shouldn't be doing it. But yeah, I feel it's my responsibility as well to continue to make it as widely distributed as possible. Because I think we have the greatest product in the world. It's so easily translatable. It's protagonist versus antagonist, going back to the very beginning of storytelling. It's really that simple. And there's 1, 2, 3. There's a decisive winner, so it's very easy to follow in any language. One of our secrets is you should be able to hit the mute button and be able to follow the story. And if you can do that in anything, boxing is another thing. Formula One racing is similar that way. You get it. If you can do that, you're onto something.
Has fatherhood changed you?
Sure.
How?
Absolutely. Oh, for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son's name is Declan, which I'm sure you know that from your exclusive and very thorough research. Yeah, I miss him. I've been away. Been away a lot. Travel takes you away. I'm sure all the guys that will sit in this chair or you'll ever interview will tell you that the family life is very hard because you do make a lot of sacrifices to tour the world and to grow the product. But yeah, my son and my wife, for that matter, Marissa, that's it for me. That is the nucleus of my life.
My wife's actually about to give birth to my first
congratulations.
child.
That's fantastic.
3 days, so what's...
In 3 days?
Yes.
What are you doing here?
Well, hopefully she's not in labour at the
You
moment.
got your pager?
Sure. So, what's some parenting advice from Shane McMahon?
Enjoy it, number one. And also make sure you spend a lot of time, with your wife. Because there's that point, she's worked very, very hard, which is, for a guy, you can't fathom. You just see her growing and getting ready, but it takes such a toll on a woman's body. That's why I think women are the most amazing creatures walking, because they really can do it all. It just depends on what they choose to do. We're kind of like humble servants, and that's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
But so the parenting, just enjoy and take care of her, take care of your child, and just hold them and love them, and that's the best thing you could possibly do.
Finally, what are you most proud of contributing to the WWE?
My son? No. There's been a lot of things, a lot of milestones, but I don't know if I can pick one in particular. I think every day making it grow is my biggest contribution, and continuing on the McMahon legacy that way. And not just for the McMahon family, but for everybody. We're approaching about 500 employees now, and that's outside of, the WWE superstars. And both the talent roster as well as all the employees rely on us to keep the ship running. And that's a responsibility that is quite large, but also it's one that we want, and we're proud of it. That's why I keep getting back to the fan aspect, and the family aspect of everything. I do look at it as one big family.
Well, Shane, thanks very much for joining us today, and enjoy the rest of your time in New Zealand.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to you. I know it's a little in advance. That is absolutely awesome. It'll blow your mind.
Or hopefully it's still in advance. I might get home and be in a bit of trouble.
Cool.